Hey everyone, this is Beardo, and as you can probably see behind me, I'm doing some reorganizing. So I have got comics coming out of every orifice of this apartment, and it's making me a little bit crazy. So hopefully I will have sort of our standard setup going next week, but for this week, as you can see, everything's just kind of in shambles, so here we are. Of course, since things are in shambles, why not go get some more stuff to clog up the apartment? I got some new books. I also, because it was actually a very short week for new books for me, I went to Half Price Books and got another stack. Don't tell my girlfriends. Anyway, so I've got a lot of stuff to show you, but we're going to kick it off with the new stuff. I actually only have 3 new titles, and then I also got 1 reprint, which I'll show you the reprint here quick first. This is issue number 2 of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Color Classics from IDW. These reprint the original Turtles run from Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, only recolorized. It has very digital coloring. I know Agent 42Q has had some issues with the coloring on this, but I'm still enjoying it, and I only have a handful of original issues from this era, so it's kind of a good way for me to collect it, just to kind of get the story. I don't really want to pay $50 to get that big hardcover edition, even though that'd be really cool. So this is a good way for me to kind of pick them up incrementally. I'm not really going to review this. I will say that it's a great issue, so you should pick it up. It's got the first appearance of Baxter Stockman. It's got the first appearance of April O'Neil, and of course Baxter Stockman means the first appearance of M.A.C.s as well. So, great issue. If you didn't pick this up back in the day, if you haven't picked it up in trade since, check out the Color Classics, because it's a good way to jump on. Anyway, on to the 3 books that I got this week. So I thought about getting a couple new things. I've been wanting to try some new stuff. At the end of this month, I'm going to be doing, just fair warning, I'm going to be doing some purging on what I'm picking up, and you'll see some new titles, but you're also going to see some titles go away. Not sure what all they'll be. I'll probably do a separate video so you guys can see what to expect on next month's videos. So in the meantime, I'm looking for some new stuff to grab, and I saw a new title from Image called Planetoid. I looked through it, didn't quite float my boat. It looked fine, but it wasn't really quite. I like sci-fi stories. It just looked kind of like a typical sort of garbage planet kind of sci-fi thing, and didn't really do it for me. I also almost picked up Brian Wood's The Massive, but I read the inside, and it was kind of like, what do environmentalists do after the world has already ended? And that struck me as just kind of Whale Wars-y, and I don't like Whale Wars. You know, it's probably nothing like that, but for some reason it just kind of turned me off, so didn't get that. I also looked at getting the Silk Spectre. I leafed through it, and I want to say that this is just a judgment call just from looking at it. I haven't in any way properly read even a single panel off of it. I just kind of glanced through, and it looked to me kind of like Supergirl, where you've got, like, you know, the parent figure who is a superhero, and then their relationship with, you know, the main character who's a young superheroine dealing with life in high school and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know, like I said, that's just a totally a judgment call based on just glancing at it, so I don't know. But it didn't really kind of grab me, so I'm not going to pick that up. Unless you guys say it's amazing, so let me know if you pick it up. I might pick up The Comedian. That's next week, and then the last book for June for Before Watchmen is Night Owl. And that one I'll definitely pick up issue 1, because I love Joe Kubert, I love Andy Kubert, and if you saw my Night Owl predictions in a video I did a week ago, something like that, you'll know that I have a personal stake in this, because I want to see if I'm right. So anyway, didn't get anything new, it's just kind of the usual stuff. However, there's some good stuff, so let's get to it. First off, at the bottom of the pile, for a while now, is Demon Knights. This is number 10, of course, because it's the new 52, they're all number 10. And, I don't know. I mean, this was better than last month. Last month I felt like they were just kind of getting the characters to where they needed to be, and it was very much a by the numbers, sort of nothing new, just sort of let's just get them where they need to go and get on with it. So it was a very quick, very sort of apathetic read last month. This one is a little bit more fun. We get some good humor, especially with Vandal Savage, which I always love when Vandal Savage is featured prominently in this book because he's just hilarious. We do also get consistent artwork in this, which was a big plus. Liked that a lot. All in all, though, I don't know. I mean, it's just not that memorable right now for me. We're getting into the whole, you know, at the end of a couple issues ago, Merlin was killed, and then now we are going to sort of what used to be Camelot. And in the last issue, and partly, you know, again, it wasn't, the last issue for me wasn't very engaging, so I don't really remember it that well. So I was reading this, and I thought I kind of knew where it was headed, but then I feel like it's headed somewhere else, so I was just a little bit confused. That kind of brought this issue down a little bit. I have to reread the last issue now. But basically we're getting sort of like, correct me if I'm wrong, but kind of undead Camelot. So it could be interesting. I think the next issue is really going to tell. This is one that is definitely on the chopping block for me at the end of the month when I sort of cull my list. This may or may not come back next month, so we'll see. Part of it is, I mean, this week is such a late week, I've been continuing to pick it up, so might still get it, we'll see. Alright, however, much improved this month is Green Lantern. I have not been very excited for Green Lantern ever since the beginning of this Indigo Tribe story, and even before that, issue 6 or whatever it was also pretty lackluster. The one that had artwork by Mike Choi. I didn't like that very much. But the Indigo Tribe thing, a lot of people have been digging the Indigo Tribe, and I get why you love it, you know? I mean, there's a lot of great sort of, oh crap moments of like, I can't believe that just happened, and all that kind of stuff. But for me, all of them seemed really predictable, and I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why that happened to me specifically. Everyone else seemed to be kind of blown away by it. For me, like, finding out about Abin Sur and his relationship with the Indigo Tribe kind of just struck me as, okay, all right, so next thing, what's happening? You know, and waiting to get on to the next thing. I'm really excited for the Guardians and sort of the face-off with them. That's definitely looming around the corner. And this has been just sort of a, for me, kind of an unnecessary stop along the way, just because most of the stuff that happens in here I kind of saw coming, and there weren't really a lot of surprises. This issue, however, is much better. We have the conclusion of this story, so that's nice. We get to move on to the next thing. We are definitely starting to build up towards the Guardian thing, which I'm really excited for. Really interesting ending, however, with the Black Hand, which I did not see coming, not in a million years. Maybe this is one that you all saw coming and I missed it, but either way, I'm really excited to see how that plays out. We also have some really good stuff with Hal Jordan and Sinestro in this issue. Hal Jordan has to make a choice now and basically decide Sinestro's fate. And throughout the issue, you have sort of this banter back and forth going between them that's kind of reminded me of like a Spider-Man Punisher team up, where you got the guy who goes way too far and the guy who won't quite go far enough, and that's very tongue-in-cheek and sort of, you know, them trying to work together. But then at the end, you know, Sinestro, as you can tell on the cover, becomes an Indigo Lantern, and his fate as an Indigo Lantern or as a Green Lantern really rests solely on Hal Jordan's shoulders. And it's going to be interesting to see how he chooses to address that. So anyway, very good issue. I was really enjoyed this one. Great ending. I'm back on board with Green Lantern. So that's great. Alright, now pick of the week this week isn't really pick of the week. I liked it, but it wasn't 100% for me. I think if there had been another book that it might not, if I had gotten more than 3 books this week, it may have easily not ended up at the top of the pile. Just by virtue of the fact that there was only a little bit to get this week, was it actually on top. And that is Batman number 10. Now, first of all, artwork, as always, phenomenal. This cover is awesome. It reminds me of like the Maltese Falcon. It's got that great sort of noir kind of coloring and sepia-ness to it. Really, really cool. Like this cover a lot, even though it's very plain. It's just sort of Batman standing there. But I like the cover a lot. Inside, I don't know how much of this to give away, to be honest with you. There's a couple oh crap moments. The first one is one that I kind of saw coming, but it was still satisfying, and I'm not going to say what it was. However, if you watch, if you're subscribed to Defiant Empire, which is Nug and Simic review DC Comics, way back in their very first Batman review, Nug said something, and Simic sort of offhanded said, no, Scott Snyder's better than that. Nug, you have totally got an I told you so coming, and I cannot wait to see it in your next video. So that was good. Basically, there is a new puppet master behind everything, and he's not above the Talons or above the Court of Owls. He's very much ingrained in that, but it's sort of an unexpected traitor, or something like that, if you want to think of it that way. So that was the first kind of oh crap moment. The second one, though, is when you find out who that person really is. And it is someone, and that's where the book actually kind of lost me. I mean, this is major continuity, guys. When you guys read this, like, this is going to be, there's going to be fallout from this for a long time. Definitely a new major player among Gotham's Rogues Gallery, Batman's Rogues Gallery. The question for me is, where did it come from? I think that Scott Snyder is really good at building stuff up, and his issues read very cyclically, in the sense that like he'll start with something and it'll be some kind of small minutia about Gotham or about the Wayne family or something, and then it kind of comes full circle and plays into the main story. And his arcs also do that on a much bigger scale. And I felt like when you find out who the person really is, the traitor who actually is someone that he's, double traitor kind of situation, when you find out who he really is, I felt like it was kind of out of left field, and that kind of hurt the book for me. I'm curious to know what you guys thought. I don't know if this is, I have to reread the first 9 issues just to kind of see if there's more hints dropped than I realized, but it definitely was just kind of like, oh, well, that's crazy, but why are we doing this now? You know what I mean? It was just kind of out of nowhere. So anyway, that's the only thing that kind of kept it from being stellar, but nevertheless, I mean, some really, really big stuff happens in this, so definitely go pick this up. And I look forward to the next issue with the big conclusion, which makes me wonder what issue 12 is going to be, because I know, 0 issues are coming up after issue 12, and we've got issue 11, which is going to be the conclusion to Court of Owls. So what's 12 going to be? I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so that's everything I picked up. Small week. Since it was a small week, as I believe I mentioned already, I did get a pretty big haul of comic books from Half Price Books. Now, the vast majority of these were 75 cents. So it's a big stack, but it's really, only a few more bucks than I would normally have spent on Wednesday anyway. But again, don't tell my girlfriend, because she might not like that I have been buying so many back issues lately. But anyway, first up, I got, from IDW, I got a couple more Turtles comics. So this is a title that I didn't really kick off with. I wish I had, but the last couple of arcs have been kind of hit and miss for me, or last couple series have been kind of hit and miss for me. This one I've heard is really, really good, so I started picking up some of those. It says $2.95 on here, but it was $1.50, and this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Leonardo, part of the Micro series. I also got issues 9 and issues 10. And alright, now on to those were basically each $1.50 a piece. The rest of these are 75 cents until the very end. So, first up, we have Superman, number something. This is a Whitman variant, which is why I picked it up. I never collected Whitman variants. I think people do that. I don't know what this is worth. If anybody knows anything about Whitman variants, you should tell me about it, because I really have no idea. Howler Mouse, I'm looking at you. Alright, next up we have a set of books that I haven't actually collected in a long time. I picked up the first 15 issues because it was Kevin Smith and really enjoyed those, but then just kind of dropped off it. However, following Kevin Smith was Brad Meltzer, who can be very, very good. And I am, of course, talking about Green Arrow. So here is issue number 16, and this is a 6-part storyline that he did following Kevin Smith's run called The Archer's Quest. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and finally 21. So that's the complete Meltzer run, and looking forward to reading these. Haven't read Green Arrow in a long time, so that'll be fun. Alright, next up, a couple more 75-cent books that I got. This isn't a title that I normally collect, and I've never really read it at all. It might be really bad, but I picked these up because it has a backup story that I am very interested in, and that is Warlord. And this is issue number 46, and as you can see in the bottom, we have got an O.M.A.C.s tie-in. I actually have this tie-in. It's reprinted in an O.M.A.C.s special that they did, like a countdown special back in the day, but it's nice to kind of have these in single issues. I don't know if there are 3 or 2 Warlord issues that had O.M.A.C.s, but I have 2 of them now. So here's 46, and then 47. Now, the cream of the crop of what I got, these, again, are marked higher than I actually paid for them. They had been marked down again, and those are, first of all, Batman number 366. This one was, I think, $3, although it says $4.50. I don't know. They have their stuff sort of binned strangely sometimes. Really like the cover on this. That's one of the big reasons I got it. They have a couple other back issues of Batman that I really have to get, but they're overpriced right now, so we'll see if they go down in price a little bit. Alright, and then finally, the last one I got was, this one actually is correct price. I paid $4.50 for this, which is way more than I would normally pay, but it's signed by the artist, so I thought that was kind of worth it. Plus, every issue I've gotten this series, I've gotten for 75 cents, so paying a little extra for one of them, and it's signed, I figured, what the hell. And it is Green Lantern number 51. Now this is the first full appearance of Kyle Rayner as Green Lantern. He appeared in issue 50 at the very end, so this is him as Green Lantern for the first time, and as I said, it is signed by Darryl Banks. So that's kind of cool. Don't know if he signed this at Bill's Books, but nevertheless he signed it. Alright, so that concludes everything I got this week, so I'm out of here. I've got, this weekend, hopefully, I will have another countdown video up. It's been a couple of weeks now, so sorry it's been a little bit late, but I've got a whole stack to show you, so it'll be well worth it. Hope you tune in for that, and in the meantime, I am looking forward to watching all your videos, so I'll talk to you soon. Bye.